everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so thankful that you decide to stop by and quilt with me. Guess what? Today is our last block of the month called Lady Tulip. We're gonna be learning how to make that center block for our beautiful medallion quilt. Then we're gonna talk about how to put your blocks together, put a sashing, put them into a row, and make a beautiful quilt top. Then it's gonna be up to you. Quilting, binding, and you're gonna have a wonderful, fantastic finished project just for the new year to decorate your house with it. Let's talk about the center block. Oh, and if you're just starting with us, let me tell you, we have a beautiful pre-cut kits. This is the kit. Everybody that is working on the blog, they have been purchasing blocks month by month. But in case you didn't do that, you can still get a kit. Go to our website at laundrybasketquilts.com and look at for Lady Tulip block of the month. Anybody that is doing it block by block with me, last 9 months was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining, and I can't wait. You see the block of the month for 2023. It is beautiful. I can't wait you finish this one and join us in for the next year. Right now, you should be receiving either your pre-cut block or regular block, and you're going to be receiving your cornerstones fabric, your sashing fabric, and your border and a binding fabric. So this is the package, and of course you're gonna get a pattern. I have a pattern right here, and I already took the plastic off it, and I have my block that is completely pre-cut right here with me. In this pre-cut package, I have all the pieces for the center block, that little bit of a square little sashing border, and now you're gonna be ready, set, go to quilt with me. We're gonna start with our first unit. This block is made from 9 units, 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. It's 9 units. 4 of them are gonna be just like this. We're gonna have a light square, light half square triangle, pink, and a green. If you're working from pre-cut kits, everything is ready for you. If you are working from our pattern, you're gonna be cutting your own pieces. You're gonna be cutting accordingly to the directions that are in the pattern. I'm gonna put the directions in front of me for our first unit, this corner unit I call it. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start by placing my lights right sides together, stitching, flipping it open, pushing my seam allowance towards the pink, and I'm gonna do this on both half square triangle units to create a beautiful half square triangle units. Look at this, just like this. I push my seam allowance, I trim the bunny ears, I'm ready, set, go now to sew 2 rows, then sew rows together to create a block. I'm gonna place the pieces right sides together, stitch, then I'm gonna go ahead for that second unit, do the same thing, stitch, flip it open, just like this, and then I'm gonna sew this to this. I have some of them finished for you because I was so excited. I cannot wait to make this block with you. So this is the unit you're gonna make, and you're gonna make 4 of those. You need 1 for each corner. Notice how easy you can just rotate them, and you're gonna have 4 of those. So I just finished mine. I'm gonna put them to the side, and I'm gonna move on to my second unit. That unit is made with quarter square triangle. I love quarter square triangle. I have a green one, I have 2 orange ones, and then I'm gonna have a 1 light one. Quarter square triangles are cut from a square twice diagonally. The straight grain edge is right here, bias edges are right here, and all that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew them to sets of 2, just like this. Place it together, sew it, place it together, sew it. Then I'm gonna flip it open, I'm gonna push the seam allowance towards the orange, and then I'm gonna go ahead, place those together and sew it. I have one ready for you. I was just can't wait. Look at, sewed it. Now I'm gonna open it up, and now gently, if you pull this back like this, you're gonna open that little center, and you're gonna press this towards the opposite sides. This is gonna go towards light, this is gonna go towards dark. Now flip it over, press it, square it up, cut off those bunny ears, square it out, and all your finished measurements are right there in a pattern. And this is gonna be important. This block is a little bit different, so there isn't a measurements like 5.5. You have to have your unit at 5 7/8. Once you have one made, quickly you're gonna be making the rest of them, all 4 of them, because guess what? Now it's gonna be time to make your center block. This block is so beautiful. Look at this. Now your corners right here, let me move the pattern out of the way. Right there, look at, I'm placing all my pieces exactly where they have to go, and the center, just a beautiful square here. Now I'm gonna sew my pieces into a rows. I'm gonna have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna sew my rows together to create this beautiful block. As soon as I finish, I'm ready for the remaining pieces, but it's a little bit of this delicate sashing with a cute little corners. Of course, follow the pattern for your pressing direction and make sure you lock all the seams, especially right there, especially right here, so your block looks beautiful. As soon as you finish the center block, like I said, all that you have to do is work on this beautiful sashing right there, those little squares. You're gonna line up your pieces, you're gonna follow your pattern, you're gonna need 8 of them for the small one, and you're going to lay everything out just like this. I love laying it out because that guarantees that I'm not gonna make any mistakes. I'm gonna have light triangles on one side, and I'm gonna have darker triangles, setting triangles on the other side. And look at this now. I have my little corners right there. I'm gonna have my other triangles, and I'm just laying all my pieces just so everything is in place. Keep going like this. Now on the corners, you're gonna have half square triangles. So place them right here, place this one right there. If everything is beautifully lined up, all that you have to do is now sew them into rows. Let me show you one of the rows. Isn't it beautiful? Right there. Let me show you second row. Isn't it beautiful? All that I did is I took my triangles, I placed them right sides together with my square. I stitched it from the top straight down, flip it open. I'm pushing my seam allowance towards the square. I'm gonna do this with my triangle right here, the light one. Again, sew it, flip it open, and now I have my pieces. If they're sewing to those rows, easy. I'm gonna take them, place it, look at, I'm matching the seam. I'm gonna place it right sides together, pin it, and I love pinning right there at this transition point. And then I'm gonna stitch from here straight down, from here straight down, and keep going like this to create this beautiful sashing. You're gonna make 2 of those. You need 1 for the bottom, 1 for the top, and then you're gonna keep going to create 2 more sashings like this for the left and the right side of your center block. So that is the next step. As soon as you finish your sashings, you're gonna sew them to the block, sew it to the block, starting bottom, top, left, right, push the seam allowances, and I push them towards the block right there because I did not want them to, there's a lot of points right there, so you can push them towards the block. As soon as you finish, you're gonna go ahead and lay out your whole quilt. You're gonna place your center, then you're gonna take all your 6.5 inch blocks, lay them out, following the layout in a pattern. As soon as you finish laying out the whole quilt, you're going to be able to sew rows. Of course, make sure you remember to have cornerstones and sashings in between your blocks. And you're gonna be sewing. First row is going to be a sashing row where you have a sashing cornerstone, Then you're gonna have blocks, and the blocks going to have sashing in between. And you're gonna keep going like this, following that layout. and sew rows together. Here in the center, you're gonna make smaller rows only of 3 blocks on the left and the right side of the center. The same on the bottom, big 3 rows. Now we're gonna sew this to this and this to this. Of course, we have a larger sashings right there. All the directions for the sashings are in your pattern. As soon as you finish, you're gonna have the center done. You're gonna add the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, and it is time for your borders. You're gonna cut your borders and then sew them into the center of your quilt. Now it's gonna be time for your backing and binding. In the kit, if you received the kit from us, you received a binding, so you can use that for your binding. For your backing, I have some lovely recommendations for you. We have some beautiful fabric that you can go ahead and visit our website and get them for your backing. This beautiful fabric 191Y is perfect for a backing. I love that happy yellow. Isn't that lovely? If you rather have it something lighter, we have 190N. Notice this. Another beautiful fabric for a backing. All the directions how to put your quilt together also are in your pattern right there. Notice it. I'm gonna just move the pages so you can see it in the pattern. It shows you exactly what I was telling you about it as well. It gives you a directions of your quilting and your binding and everything that you need for your beautiful quilt that it's gonna end up 74.5 by 74.5 unfinished. So everything is in a pattern. Cut your border, add this to the quilt, and another great backing would be 196. Notice this one, the same that I have it in a sashing. I love that little polka dot on a gray. It is just stunning. So that is it. With a bittersweet after 9 months of hard work and a lovely, beautiful 6.5-inch blocks and a gorgeous center block, we are ready to put everything together and you have a beautiful quilt. Thank you for joining us for Block of the Month 2022, and I can't wait to see you next year for Block of the Month 2023. Happy quilting!